Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put the notification bell on all, ding, so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking, right? I appreciate all your support and I'm very humbled. So I seen a rather disturbing headline, and I was like, wow, having personal knowledge of this guy's basically his whole get down, man. I was like, damn, he finally succeeded. This man, the ultimate active gangbanger, right? The personification of what it takes to really be active, to really be out there in the streets, to really be committed fully, right? He got exactly what he always wanted. And that's a long ass term in prison. Now, I've seen people get much, much longer. I got homeboys doing 4, 5, 6, 7 life sentences, right? But this one hits a little bit harder because this is a was a personal friend of mine, someone who I watched as a youngster come up in the game. And I was just kind of like, how could you say I was kind of his, he was my protege, right? He was someone that, and for all content purposes, man, he was someone that I seen myself in a lot, like what I could have been if I kept making those type of decisions. But anyways, man, I came across an article where one of my close friends, close homeboys from my neighborhood, right? And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of the history, just how treacherous and vicious this individual was. I can't tell you how he is today because I don't talk to him anymore, and maybe obviously, man, after getting the time he got, his life hasn't changed much from what we were doing. But he definitely had a rough path in life. And I thought, for whatever reason, man, I do this video explaining his situation and what's up. So anyways, a homeboy from my neighborhood, man, he's a white homeboy, which means he went the extra mile, the extra distance. And that's what happens when you're a different ethnicity in a Mexican gang, right? It's not that you're told or that you're advised or that you're encouraged to put in more work than everyone else. It's that I guess it's a feeling that overcomes them. They feel like, hey, man, I'm a white dude or I'm a black dude or I'm an Asian dude from a Mexican gang. I have to be on frontline status. They put themselves there. I have to show that I'm crazier than everyone else. So that way I'm accepted. I'm embraced. The homies show me love. When in fact, it's not even like that. If you got love, you get love. Or if you get love, you got love. That's just how it is. Once you become from that neighborhood, you cease to be a color, an ethnicity, any of that. I don't say, oh, that's my black homie. I just say, that's the homie right there. I don't say, oh, that's the white homie right there. I just say, that's the homie, just happens to have he's light-skinned, right? That's it. That's usually how it goes, brother. Right now, they feel, though, and I've seen it over and over again, whether it's Norteno, Southsiders, any other gang, that someone from a different ethnicity, right? We'll go ethnicity on them today. Small mustache, todo. I get that a lot. If you see a Mexican from like a Crip or a Blood, or even Lil Brazy, right? They feel like they have to go the extra distance until the distance catches up. And then they're like, oh, no, I don't want to be an OTR anymore. We'll do a video on that later. But this homeboy was definitely that. Now, he just got a 15-year federal sentence. Got caught with 2 pounds of dope, money, all kinds of things. He was got in a caught pursuit, a chase, jumped up out the car. They found all this dope on him, whatever, right? This is not his first merry-go-round. This is someone who was caught up in Operation Red Right Hand in Merced, was able to facilitate some type of disposition where he was able to get out. This is somebody who had way more crimes than you can even imagine and started out as a youngster in YA. Let me talk about our first interaction. And he's different because he was what you call not a hood hopper at all, but someone who kind of transitioned from one gang into another, man, because he found out where his mind was right. And so he got his little shine right. So I remember getting out of prison I'm already an older homeboy. You know, I was active at the time. I was in the mix. I was in the mix, but wanted to kind of stay out of the mix. And I'll never forget, I was at my Tia's pad just chilling, right? And I was trying to duck and dodge the homies. Real talk. I was trying to stay away from them. Like I didn't want to fraternize with them because I already know what comes with it. You know, I had the mentality like I'm still a homeboy. They still could call me. I'll pull up, no doubt. You know, a lot of them I was leading by example. You know, my YA mentality, my prison mentality, all these things I was educating homeboys. Like if a homeboy came knocking on the door, hey, bro, I need to know about this. I give him the game. But at the end of the day, I wasn't trying to go kick it with them because I didn't want to get locked back up. That didn't last too long. A couple days later, there's a knock at my door. It's the homie, right? Look, we're going to do just one time. Ready? The black homie, right? He knocks at my door. He's like, what's up, bro? I'm like, oh, what's up? In fact, my dad answered. She was like, hey, your homeboys are out there. I was like, damn, tell them I'm not here. She was like, they seen you already. Fuck. What's up, bro? Right? He's like, come outside, eh? You coming out or what? To the yarda? I guess. So I went out there, and there's homies chilling. I see a tall white dude. Bald, chilling right there. Mean mug, tattoo over the eye. Just looking menacing, right? He's a youngster, but the look he had, the look he gave me, he looked me up and down like, this fool ain't shit. I looked him up and down like, shit, you fuck around and find out. Puto, I just got out, homie. You know how it is when you first get out of prison, you're all flexed up and you think you're bad. Anyways, so I start chopping it up with the homies. They're like, let's go to the club, this, and that, whatever. And of course, like you can't tell them no. In the hood, you can't say no. No is like a word you don't use. No is like in violation. Hey, fool, shoot that guy. No. Come here, watch what's going to happen, right? Sasuke, you bone that torta? No. What? Right? Sasuke, hey, you were over there fucking chilling with that fucking... No, hell no. All right? That's the truth. This is how it is in the hood, where I grew up, right? So I meet the dude. He's cool, man. We hit it off right from the gate because we're both YA babies. So he starts talking about when he was in Chad, throwing dudes off the tier, getting off. And I know what he's saying is truth because I remember when the homies were going to Chad back and forth from the Oyo to Chad, which Chad was like, it was the northern equivalent of YTS down south. They sent all mostly Southside, all Southsiders, you know. If you were a northerner and you went to YTS back in them days, you went to the Rock, which was the Oyo. You never hit the main line. They just didn't put northerners on the main line there. It was too dangerous. Chad was a different story. You had Bulldogs, Nortenos, Southsiders, blacks, whites, and everybody was on site. They were kickboxing. They'd have these belly chains. They'd put them in these belly chains. Motherfuckers would come out and kickbox. Like always on site, mandatory rush. Let's just get it. That's how that program was. But so it was a little bit wild. They used to call it Mad Chad. Anyways, he had been in Chad. He did his thing, right? And so we kind of were vibing off that. Like, that's right, bro. Yeah, when I was in Nellis. And we're telling our war stories. And I was like, this is a cool youngster right there. But I had never seen him before in the hood. Most people I knew or they were related to someone. So I was like, hey, bro, like, Whoppin, who are you? Like, where did you come from? Where did you just pop up? Because I was hearing a lot of stories about him. Stories that I can't repeat. Okay, and I will never repeat. So if he ever watches this or someone watches this and they forward this to him, you know, homie, secrets are safe with me, carnal, forever, till I die, right? And then after that, I don't know. But anyway, so he was just doing his thing. I was hearing a lot about him, and I was inspired. For once, I was inspired by a youngster, right? But there was something that was uninspiring to me. When I looked close at his face, I seen a tattoo over his eye. So, of course, you know, I had to put my reading glasses on. And I looked, and I said, oh, hell no. What is that? He had Fres Norte over his eye, but he was claiming my neighborhood, which has nothing to do with Fresno, right? And so I was trying to put 2 and 2 together to make 4 Norte gang, but I couldn't figure it out. So I had to pull, for content purposes, the black homie to the side. And I was like, well, what happened? He's like, what happened, bro? That's the homie right there. I said, he's a Fresno homie, not my homie. He's like, nah, bro. He's from the hood. So he's like, ask him, bro. I was like, fuck it then. You know what I'm saying? I was like Johnny Depp in Blow. Remember when he goes to meet Pablo Escobar? He's all scared and shit. And then I'm like, fuck it then. So I'm like, what's up, bro? What's that? Yeah, he was like, oh, bro, I'm originally from Fresno. You know what I'm saying? I kicked it with the homies out there. I wasn't from a barrio out there, but I just kicked it with the homies. So I was representing. But my brother's from your neighborhood. I say, your brother? To what degree of other white guys that we got around here, right? And then come to find out what had happened was he met one of the homeboys from my neighborhood, a very well-respected homeboy, a homeboy that I've known since he was a young kid. I used to buy him ice creams and shit, right? Him and his sister. He was just cool. Just solid dude, even to this day, right? They became good friends in YA. And because the homeboy that just got the 15-year sentence, I'm going to tell you his name later on and all that, he befriended him. They became taitas, which are like best friends, just close homeboys. So that way, when he paroled, man, he came to live with the homeboy, and it was like everyone started calling him brothers. And so he transitioned to Merced. He just moved in, started kicking it with the neighborhood because, of course, his brother was from the neighborhood, and that was pretty much that. So all this was happening. Meanwhile, I was in prison doing hard time, right? These guys were getting out of YA. They're behind me because they're youngsters, right? They were in their like late 20s at the time. I'm already in my 30s, you know, dirty 30s. So now we're all chilling. Boom, boom, boom. Fools about the business. So we become very close. And I can tell you this man didn't know how to drive. He didn't know how to do nothing but shoot. Like I felt bad for him because he didn't have a family. You know, he was displaced, meaning something happened along the lines where he lost his family. He was on his own as a youngster. And all he knew and dedicated himself was to the Norteno cause, period. It's all he cared about. He ate, he slept, he drank, he wept, he fucking cried. Everything was Norteños. And you would trip out because he was a real aggressive homeboy, like the type that'll pull up on anyone and get off quick without questions. In fact, this is how vicious he was. That when we'd cruise around, true story, I'd be driving. I'd go, Poste. His name's Poste, right? That's what we called him. I'm like, Poste. He's like, what's up? I'm like, give me the thing. To what degree of thing, I'll let you guys figure it out. Give me the thing, right? He's like, come on, fool. I'm like, give me the thing. Give me the thing. Give me the thing, right? He'd give me the thing. I take the thing out of the thing and give the thing back to him because I didn't want him thinking, if you understand what I mean, because he was quick to do it with no hesitation, no matter who it was. And I was like, hell nah. Like, it's cool to have a homeboy that's down to bust and get off where he's mad at, but this about to got off when he wasn't even mad. He'll be smiling. Say, hey, nigga, fool. Hey. We're like, what the fuck? Nah, it was just a wild, crazy homeboy, but very emotional too. Like, he'll get off. So let me fast forward, man. We became real close. I put a little crew together. Facts, right? About 2005, 2006. I put a little crew together of all these youngsters, and they were all hitters. They were all with the business. They were all homeboys that already kicked it, but I took the pick of the litters, right? Like these vatos, these are the ones right here. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I was the shot caller or nothing like that. That wasn't the truth. That ain't the truth, man. I'm not that other fucking Timu version channel of me that tries to act like he shot calls all the time. I'm being real, right? I was one of the fellas too, but I just had more game because I was older. I had my own game. They had game, but I had a little bit of a different type of game. I had prison, YA, gangster game, right? They had fucking shoot 'em up, bang, bang game, gang, gang, right? And so as we're kicking back, me and this group, man, we became hella cool. Like I kicked one of the homeboys, rest in peace, man, my boy, Tete. We kicked it every day. That was my boy and Poste and my boy Titi. Those were homies. And this is just real facts, right? So we all kicked it. And I remember in Merced, we have this thing called, I don't know what the fuck it's called, to be honest with you guys, but it's the day before Thanksgiving. All the clubs are popping. It's not like we have a lot of clubs. I'm from a smaller city in the Central Valley in the 209 area, right? We don't have a gang of clubs, but what clubs we do have, you know what I'm saying? We club well. So there was this club called La Bahia. It was a paisa club. And I don't know why I'd never been there. And one of my homegirls, her baby daddy was the bouncer there. And this other dude was like, cool. Like, he was like, bro, you should go over there. It's popping on fucking the night before Thanksgiving. He's like, there's a gang of chicks there, gang of tortas, the Mexicanas too. The paisa chicks, they hit different. So especially if you don't understand Spanish, you can't understand a word what they're saying. So it's all go. No gas, all gas, no break, right? Yarami. It's just good. So I tell the homies that we should go over there. And for some reason, I stumbled across like about $2,500. I don't know how. I don't know when, right? I just know I had it. So I'm like, man, I'm buying drinks for all of us, everything. So Poste, he's like, hell yeah, let's go, bro. Now, again, like I said, he's one of those homeboys that you love, you got hella love for because he's down, but you don't want to be around all the time. He always kicks some shit off. Like, it's a guaranteed fucking thing. He's going to kick it off. He's going to get into some conflict, some trouble. He's the homeboy that I talked about in the video, man. He wanted the homeboy's old lady, so he beat him in the head with a fucking flashlight, cracked his shit open, and boned his old lady all night. Like, that's his mentality. That's how he was. Very aggressive, right? And I don't know how he got that way. I think he had a traumatic childhood. I don't know, man. Got a lot of love for him. Even to this day, he was one of the homeboys that I knew that if I ran into, it was going to be problems. It was going to be issues. It was going to be like, hey, bro, one of us is going to get mad at where we're mad at. That's the type of homeboy he was. He was very dedicated, right? Still is, I'm sure. So anyways, trip out. We all go to this club, right? And I remember the night, Pacific to be specific, right? As we get there, we pull up, and it's me, posting the homie Tets. And we going with the chicks. All the homegirls are there. Bam, we all kick it. I see the fucking bouncer. He's my homeboy, my baby homeboys. My homegirl's fucking baby daddy, right? So we go in there. Hey, what's up? Ooh. He's like, oh, what's up, bro? Me and him are hella cool. So he lets me right in with the homies. So there's a gang of paisas and a gang of people. And I mean, these paisas are not your typical paisas this night. We're talking about fur coats, diamonds in their mouth. We're talking about ballers, right? Motherfuckers that got more money than I ever seen. Escalades in the front, fucking gang of badass chicks. I'm in my element. I'm in my zone. And as we're kicking it, Boss is all fucking, he's like, buy me a drink. So I'm getting him faded, buying him Corona after Corona after Corona. He's getting fucked up, right? And he's like, damn, bro, there's some badass chicks in here. And I was like, yeah. So one of my homeboys calls me. He's like, hey, bro, fucking, I'm outside. And Boss had went outside. I'll never forget. He had went outside. He was smoking a frau, whatever. And he was like, hey, bro, I'm outside right here. I need to borrow a shirt, man. They won't let me in with just a white tee. That's the type of club it was, right? Luckily, I had because I was real flaco back then, real skinny. You know, I get big thin, whatever, right? So I remember I had a jersey on. I had a thermal under it, and then I had a white tee under that. So I'm like, hey, ask the bouncer if I give you the thermal, will you be cool? Because it's long sleeve, whatever. So the bouncer's the homie. He says, yeah, he can get in. I just can't let him in with just a white tee, bro. It's just the rules, right? I said, all right, I'll be out there. I'll give you my fucking thermal. So as I'm going out there, I see Posted talking to two dudes and a chick. And I don't even trip because the chick's hella fine. It looks like he's animated, like he's just chopping it up, but he's faded. And when he gets faded, he starts a lot of shit, right? So I walk around the corner, and the homeboy's right there, and I was here. I take my shirt off, give him the thermal. He throws it on. He's like, damn, this motherfucker smells good. I said, show. That's how I smell, right? So bam, I throw it. And as I turn the corner, Post is all in this dude's face. He's like, this dead end fool, what's up? And I'll jump in real quick. I'm like, whoa, hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put my fucking in it, right? So I'm like, well, what's going on? Dude's like, nah, bro, I was just telling your homie, man, I know the homeboy, this, and that. Now, I'm not going to say the homeboy's name for content purposes, but he's like, because he's somebody, right? He's like, I know this homeboy right here. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know him? I was like, well, when did you talk to him? He was like, I just talked to him yesterday. Ain't no fucking way, because the homeboy just got caught by the feds like a week ago. And he ain't calling this poop, but not at all. He barely calls us, right? Ain't no way. So I'm like, oh, yeah, how good you know? Oh, no, that's the homie, man. Yesterday, we're chopping it up. We were chilling. I said, how the fuck you chilling with them, bro? He was in the feds. Nah, you don't understand. Look, I know people be watching this law enforcement, so I ain't going to go into too much details. But for some reason, all of a sudden, that fool's face goes wide open. He falls on the curb, and another homie jumps up and boom, leg gone, right? The chick is trying to call 911. Somebody wrestles that phone out of her hands and dubs it. Boom. It goes down right there, right? It goes majorly down. Of course, me, like the dumbass, I got to be all up in the mix. I find myself under two big fat dudes fucking trying to swing. They're on me. Boom, boom, boom. The homeboy Post is giving people the business. Knockout artist, right? He's a tall, big dude. Boom, boom, boom. He saves me. Post, help. We get up. And one of the homeboys was smart. The homeboy that I just gave the shirt, he didn't even make it in the club to get a drink. He was all mad later on. He takes off running across the street with this old lady. Like our chicks, they start coming out. The other homeboy comes out. He's the one that did the little leg thing, right? So the chicks are like, what the fuck? You guys are stupid, right? One of the dudes is on the ground with a broken leg. He's done. His old lady, unfortunately, somehow, some way, she found herself in between an Escalade rim and a curb. Whopped it. The other dude, the fat dude, the one that was fucking trying to roll on me, him and his fucking homeboy, because some other dude just jumped in. I don't know. He was just some paisa with a silver tooth. I don't know why he tried to get involved, right? He got his silver tooth knocked out. But the other dude, he was fucking rolling on the ground, going to spasm. As supposed to was giving him the 1-2 punch, right? He's giving him the same low Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Norteno gang. We were on it. The homeboy runs across the street with this old lady and starts macking. He starts kissing on her and shit. Smartest motherfucker in the world, right? He acted like he was not even involved. Like it didn't really happen, right? He's over there kissing on her and doing this thing, right? Like, I don't know what they're doing over there, killing each other. Motherfucker got blood going down his face, and he's over there. She's, wipe it off, babe, wipe it off. So they're doing their thing. The other homeboy takes off running that way, the leg breaker. He takes off running that way, and me and Post to run this way. We're on Main Street in Merced, right? This is like a like downtown, but it's just small. And as we're running, right? For those of you that watch the rapper GB, okay, there's a fucking song, a video he has. It's called So West With It. There's like a little taqueria there at. It's on the corner right there across the street from the movie theater in Main Street in Merced, right? We're running towards there, and this is downtown. Like I said, the night before Thanksgiving, they got helicopters everywhere. They literally have cops on horses, getting their Lone Ranger on, right? Hi-ho Silver. Well, Hi-ho Silver can only chase one of us. So you could either chase me or you could chase the homeboy Poste, right? And it's just like, flip of the coin, homie. Hey, fuck it, homie. La primera vez, right? You know what I'm saying? Pocos pero locos, homie. I bust left. He busts right. I bust towards the taqueria. He busts through the parking lot and the horse is on him. I'm like, yes. Damn, right? So I'm thinking, damn, you're faster than a horse, bro. Says, okay, you run. Why? Hey, run, Poste, run, right? Like Forrest. He's gone. I take off. Hey, immediately I do the Rambo. I slide up under a motherfucking a car that's parked in the parking lot. I can see ambulances and cars going by. I'm like, oh shit, I'm done, right? I have an 8-ball falls out of my pocket. Boom, of yay. I'm not gonna lie. That was what it was back in the day. And I'm sitting right there like, damn, and my primo. Thank God. God is always on my side. He happens to be cruising by with his nerd-ass homeboys. Now, these guys are like nerds. They're like not gangster, nothing like that. They're just some, hey, what are you doing, bro? You got blood all over you. I don't know, because I probably stabbed someone. Probably. Fuck, it looks like you did, bro. Right? So I see my primo. I'm like, Eddie. He's like, what are you doing down there, tweaking? I said, I'm gacked out. I'm going to tell you that, right? Let me in. So I jump in the whip. They take me. We get up out of there, right? I get back to the pad, the homegirl's pad. The one who her baby daddy is the security guard, right? He's already calling like, damn, what you guys fuck this dude up? He's like, they arrested Poste, they arrested the other homie. The other homie ran to like a Kentucky Fried Chicken where we always run. He got busted. So they're calling from county. Poste like, damn, fool, put some money on my books. I do. Solid homeboy. Just solid, man. He ended up catching, I think, like 8 years, 7, 8 years for that state time. I had the clipping somewhere around here, right? I got lucky. You know what I'm saying? I got away with that. I'm not going to say I did anything. I didn't do nothing, though. I was on the ground. So we'll just leave it like that, right? But that was that. Plus statute of limitations is gone. So anyways, that was that. But I didn't do nothing bad. I swear to God, as my witness, right? And neither did he post it, but he ended up getting caught for it. So he ends up going to prison, whatever. Well, somewhere along the lines, man, my career takes a left. I end up doing some red on red, and you guys already know, man, my status is not the best status in the world. I'm not active no more. And, you know, a lot of people hate on me, and it is what it is, man. And I kind of kept up with the homeboy and what he was doing, man. And he was still striving. He was still in the mix. He just, every time I would read an article, man, he'd pop up going to jail, going to jail, going to jail. And I was like, this homeboy just doesn't know when to stop. So just recently, man, I read this article and he just got boo-bopped for 15 years, 8 months in federal prison. He's going to sit down. And I'm hoping tremendously and truly, man, that this will be the eye-opening experience he needs. But I'll tell you right now, out of all the homies I had in my neighborhood, and I got some vicious homeboys from my water, like people I can't even talk to you about, right? He was one of the downest dudes I ever met in my life. Like that youngster right there was with the program and the business. Those that are from Merced know what I'm talking about, man. Just true stories. Whatever he was into on a personal note or doing, or they're saying he was a big time baller, all that, I don't know. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you shit, right? But what I do know is, as a personal friend, he was always solid with me. He was a taita with me. We were cool. And he's definitely one of the homeboys where I knew that if I went back to the town and tried to wiggle as non-active, he'd have been on my shit quick, right? That's just to tell you, there were certain homeboys you avoided, and he was one of them. That's all I got to say about that. Anyways, I just want to tell you guys a little story, man. See, my boy got 15 years. I feel for him. My prayers are going out to him. I hope he succeeds in life and gets out of there and makes a better change. But hey, this is Vaudeville tales. This is what really happens in the hood. There's some homeboys that they're lost in the sauce and they just never come back. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Respects and shout out to my boy Poste from Dead End.